What's up, guys? It's Nathan Beige Connection Podcast, episode 17, part 2. I was talking about the fuck it motto on the last episode, and said I was going to talk about it at the end, but I'll talk about it now, just to get it out of the way, because hope you guys knocked this week out too. I hope this was a good week. I hope you punched your boss in the fucking throat if you had to. I know he'd be getting on your nerves. My boss don't be getting on my nerves, you know. I'm going back to work soon. I'm very excited. He's been keeping me updated on what's been going on, so I'm glad to go work for the guy that wasn't an asshole in the first place. You always want to go back to working for a good guy. But the fuck it motto was, it's not even a specific, the fuck it motto, yeah, you know, something gets on your nerves, you just say fuck it, because you don't want to deal with it. But then it comes back to you. That's the part. What do you do with that? Once you say fuck it, and it's something that you kind of care about, but you know you got to say fuck it, and it happens to everything, any topic in life, people or some shit that's going on, you just go fuck it. But then what happens if I don't know, it's the hard part to do it, because the repercussions, like if something happens or if it gets worse, and you feel like you didn't say fuck it. But it's important to say fuck it. It's important to be able to say fuck things, because if you don't, that shit's gonna weigh on you for like a while, like a long while, until the point where you go crazy. If you can't say fuck it and just get rid of it, then you won't last. Because there's plenty of times people that come into your fucking life and they're gonna be trying to put shit on you, and you're gonna be sitting there like, I don't want to actually do any of this shit. Especially if they're not pulling their own weight, then you definitely you do that shit. Then you just gotta be like, you know what, fuck it. Especially because you know that shit starts to weigh on you. You feel that weight. You just gotta get that shit out of there. But that brings me into being able to say fuck it, so you can focus on your own goals. You can't live for other people. People care what's going on in your life, but people don't really give a fuck what's going on in your life. At the end of the day, you need to be you. You need to be able to handle yourself, take care of yourself, and all of that creates wisdom, which hopefully is going to guide you on a better path in life, because wisdom is what every old person, we're told, has. And my grandparents be dropping some gems on me. 50-50 I'll be listening to, 50-50 I'll be out. I just, you know, still 26. Be paying attention sometimes. And then that helps, again, leads to growing. And then what stands in the way of growing is also toxic and drama people, which is something I dealt a lot with.
I think we all have.
I mean, we all definitely have, but I don't know. And I've talked about it with other people, and they say that it sounds like you're being judgmental. So again, it becomes down to just, instead of being judgmental, instead of talking about that person and the way that they're doing things, just back away, get your space, and focus on you. Because otherwise, you're going to get stuck in that toxic shit. That's just going to take you down. And that drama. Drama's fun, but only a little bit of drama. Only drama that's worth it. I don't know what type of drama is worth it. Maybe like a nice Puerto Rican chick that might punch you in your sleep if she hears you talking about your ex, which is like some story I heard of today. Supposedly she woke up with like getting punched in the face by her girlfriend. Can you imagine, bro? You wake up to just like the illest, just
You said punched in the face.
In your face. But yeah, get rid of those toxic and drama people in your life. Be able to say fuck it when you stand. Like it's gonna weigh on you, and that weight is always gonna be there in those situations. It's always gonna be weighing on you when you say fuck it, because you care about those people, you care about those things, but you gotta worry about yourself. You can't let people disrespect you. That's one thing you can't have. You can have high standards for yourself, high expectations. You know, try to keep those leveled out within reality, but people having respect for you is one thing you can't give up. You're only human. Nobody's fucking perfect. Nobody's gonna get it right the first time, but you're gonna figure it the fuck out as long as you're being a good person. But you have to be trying to better yourself and better you, and use your fucking common sense. Because common sense runs very thin nowadays. I'm not saying, again, nobody's perfect. Nobody has the perfect strategy. Nobody has the perfect plan. Everybody has to learn. And as you keep learning, you keep going, oh shit, I'm learning something. Oh wow, I actually learned something from that. I learned something from that. And that's jumping into that fear of trying to figure it out. But overall, learn to be able to say fuck it and get respect for yourself. That's about it. If they don't care, tell them to go fuck themselves. Put them in the fucking bathroom. Like Chaz Parliamentary would do. Which is a good segue. You like that? Chaz, if you like A Bronx Tale, because we were talking about on episode 15, I think, we were talking about Casino. I think we brought up A Bronx Tale. We were talking about Goodfellas, Scarface, all those good fucking mafia movies. Neighborhood. But this is a good neighborhood film. Because I think it's based on Chaz Parliamentary's true life experience. He's colloidal. Sounds like a germ. Colloidal. That's the kid in the movie. Yeah. They call him C. But C in the movie is supposed to be him as a kid. He witnessed the actual murder and blah, blah, blah. Check out the fucking movie if you haven't seen it, because it's a great movie. It was a gem that I hadn't even seen up to like 2013, 14. I didn't even know about it. I knew about all the other movies except that one. And they put me onto that shit. And I was like, oh shit. And I added that shit to the collection like instantly. But he also has a podcast on YouTube. And I just put Mike onto that shit. And it's like sitting there just listening to him talk, especially if you like that. Because I saw him on the Michael Francesi. He used to be a mafia guy. And did he snitch? Or did he do his time?
I don't know. I'm
not 100% sure on that guy. I didn't subscribe to his thing yet. I have to do some research. I ain't going to be following a 6ix9ine, nigga. I can't. I've been called a snitch in my life for the wrong reasons. But I ain't a 6ix9ine, nigga. But I don't know if Chaz Parliamentary sat down with Michael Francesi if he's a snitch. I got to check that out before I subscribe. But I saw him on his podcast, and now I'm shouting him out to you guys. Check that shit out. That shit is great. Hopefully we can get him on the show. I don't know if it's possible, but crazier things have happened. We talked a little bit about Juneteenth on the last episode. I heard people are going to be turning up this weekend. They turned up the Juneteenth weekend because this is probably going to come out the week after or 2 weeks after. But besides that, it's still important because we turning up all 19, every 19th. June 19th, July 19th, September 19th. The summer going to be hot. It's going to be a hot Juneteenth summer. There's going to be emancipated people all over the street because they finally are out of this COVID lockdown. How's that going to work? Hey, keep it down, motherfucker.
It's going to be wild.
It's gonna be wild though. But people are coming out of COVID. Like people are coming out, but now this new COVID strain is coming, which we talked about in the last episode. But we didn't talk into this part. We didn't talk into the depth of what's gonna happen to people.
I don't think it's gonna get that bad.
Well, they say people have to get vaccinated. Supposedly you can get vaccinated for it.
They're gonna scare us into this shit now. Round 2, fight.
Bro, there's so many. You're right. There's so many thoughts going on. I'm sitting out in my car while I'm smoking, just thinking. And I'm listening to some of this news shit, and they're talking about stuff like that. And I'm just sitting there like, how's this going to happen? Is it the same thing? Should we be as worried as the last time? I mean, if you get vaccinated, are you sure it's going to work? They say some people get vaccinated, but they still catch it. They don't die, but they catch it. And I actually heard, you were talking about Mike, what's that nigga name? Bill Gates. He was buying up land and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. Now I heard an article, I heard a thing in the news. They were talking about how in the Midwest it's going to be a lot hotter. There's going to be like 4 or 5 heat waves this year in the Midwest. And it's supposedly in like Arizona or some shit, it already reached 120 some or 112. And like next week it's going to be like 120 or June. Sorry. Got to keep up with the times. June 21st that week is going to be like 127. I was in LA like a couple of years, well, I think but the year before that, 2019 was pretty fucking bad. 2019 was like, when I went out there, I think it got like 98 one day, which it's been here in New York at one point when I was younger, but not it's straight dry there. Like you feel like a fucking raisin. Nah, you're walking. Yo, there's these goth people walking down the street in like black jeans, black shoes, a black shirt, a black denim, a black jacket, and I'm sitting here in what I'm wearing now, shorts and a shirt, and I'm sweating bullets. I almost ran into Jeff Goldblum one time because I'm sitting here walking. Literally, this is jazz club he fucking frequents, and I'm walking down the fucking street with bags in my hand, and then my head's down because I'm all fucking like sad and shit because I'm a sad person, and I fucking look up. And he's sitting there with his little tiny hat on, his glasses, little black jacket, fucking black, like Jeff Goldblum, exactly what you would fucking think. Looked at me, didn't say a fucking thing. And I just went around him like he was a tree. Like he was a tree on the sidewalk. I just went like, and just went around him. I got bags in my hand, I'm sweating.
Like, excuse me.
Bruh, you know, you want to sit there and go, hey, what's up? I actually, on my way, the next trip I took in 2020, I saw I saw DL Hughley. And he was actually pretty cool. I gave him like the little, to come over, because you know celebrities hate that shit. You just walk up to him, they be like, nigga, it's 4 o'clock. It was actually early in the morning too. It was like 5 o'clock, 4 o'clock in the morning. Nobody wants to deal with that shit. Actually, it was like 3 o'clock in the morning, so nobody ever wants to deal with that shit. He gave me the little nod, like, hey, my dad loves your shit. He was sitting in first class. Didn't look at nobody though. I tried to see if he'd give me like a little nod on the way to economy or whatever. Nothing. See, they get a little money, they start changing. from the sidewalk to the plane. Nah, but I don't know how we got on that. But yeah. Oh, the Bill Gates buying up property and shit like that. It's starting to make sense because they said that shit it's gonna start happening. Obviously, it's climate change, all that shit, but supposed to get a lot worse in like that area, and it's like every year it's gonna get hotter and hotter. I don't know where you should Colorado, Ohio, where should you buy a house if you want to live in a nice? Where's the last piece of nice temperature gonna be? Long Island's too fucking humid in the summer. Like some of these days are nice.
I would go back to Georgia.
But deep June.
I lived in Atlanta. I love Atlanta. It's like springtime all year round. Except like you might have like your really baking months.
I'm trying to think if I've ever been there when it was fucking like hot. I remember they had snow for the first time in like 2018 and 2017.
Bro, you go like this, look of snow, and it's like close everything.
You know, they had the accidents on the fucking highways and shit. It was all over the news. It was like the world was ending.
Fucked up.
But then like on Instagram, I see like my cousin like with her daughter and her husband and shit, and they're like fucking sliding down a hill and shit in the backyard. Because they had like actual hills, not snow hills, little hills. It only snowed for like a little while, but
man,
niggas couldn't drive. They wasn't ready for that shit. Not there.
Man, they close everything down.
But that shit's got me motivated, definitely. I'm thinking, trust me, I've been looking into crazy shit to just like, not that I don't have the capital now, but if ever I hit some amount of money that I could just start getting land, that shit is gonna be very valuable. Very, very valuable. You're gonna be feeding a bunch of people on just food. A bunch of food on the property. I'm sure solar panels. They're gonna need places to put them, and you're gonna have to rent your land out for that. I'm never gonna do condominiums. Fuck that shit. I can't. I'm tired of seeing them shits pop up everywhere. Where they really need to do that shit is in the Midwest, because all those old people can stay in their little air-conditioned apartments and stay off the goddamn street, because they be slowing me down when I be trying to get to places and shit. We love old people, but the motherfuckers can't drive. We all know that. Except my grandparents. My grandparents can drive, and Mike's grandparents, if they still alive. You know. Anyone else's? Start talking to your grandparents. But that that brings me into investing. Crypto stocks. That's where you start. I started with crypto. It's not going so well. I'm still $400 in the hole.
No shit.
Yeah. They said that shit's supposed to go up to like $100,000 by next year. If it doesn't, then I don't know. It's at like 30 something now, 39, 38. Shit keep going to 40 and 38, 39. But I'm not putting it. I'm waiting to get my taxes to see if I'm gonna put like $400, $300 in it.
Play with some money in it.
Bro, you know the funny thing is if you just have I don't know, you got to get enough money. I don't know what enough money is. You got to figure out how much you need for the month, and then you have to figure out those what are they called? Or what I like to call them, life's inconvenience fees and shit. Which, like, when your car breaks down or blah, you need life's inconvenience fee, and then your savings and shit, which isn't hard to figure out. But after these these are the times in your life when you're 20, when you're trying to figure all this shit out, and then COVID hits. Like, I thought I was gonna have all my shit together in 2020, bro. Like, I was ready. Like, 2020, I was like, I'm about to start stand up. I'm about to start the pod. January 1st. Look at the first fucking audio. January 1st. That's when I put it up. I thought 2020 was going to be my shit. But it ended up being... I mean, I can't say I didn't learn a lot. Even like you were talking about on the last podcast. Shit, that's just funny. There's still nothing funny, but... I can't think of anything that's funny. Because it's such a different... I don't think I'll be able to find out what's funny from it until...
2020
another year, too.
It was a make it or break it year.
I got to figure out what happened. Yeah, but a lot of people, you learned a lot about yourself. Oh.
Yeah.
Excuse me, sorry. Drinking Heineken, not a sponsor. But yeah, you learned a lot about yourself. Like I was saying, the lonely thing, and then the learning to be independent, which I was already on like kind of a path to, but also how much I don't want to say it sped it up, but it definitely made you go like, oh shit, I should probably get this in order, and this shit in order, because shit's starting to get out of hand. I mean, I don't want to say it, but I don't want to be a player no more, Mike. No, I've never been a player. I'm not a player. I've always been honest about what I want. I just know Mike's Puerto Rican. Big Pun's Puerto Rican. But yeah, crypto stocks. My stocks have been doing all right. I'm still trying to add up all my stocks of what I've been looking at, and then I'll share some of that with you. Some I will share with you is ones that I actually made some money on this week. Was Neo, LI Auto, and what was the other one? Let me check. And these are some that they're all short price right now. Don't look for any of the lingo. If you want any of the lingo, if you have an Android phone, go to Invest ED app, that app on Android, and that shit will teach you all the terms. It'll test you. It'll give you some of the investment shit that you need to learn to get along. Because obviously I'm gonna just throw terms of my own at you, and that's fine with me. You're here, right? But so yeah, let me see. Neo's one of them, which I actually got from Corday, the rapper. He was talking about that on Earn Your Leisure podcast, which is on YouTube, which is where I get most of my like learning experience and shit like that. They have some short videos. Just get a notepad and just write some shit down. Because I actually started realizing like you try to write you try to write shit down to like try to like better yourself. Like every year you have like that list you put together about yourself. Like, oh, I'm gonna fix this. And you feel like you never actually, you get to a point like 5 years later and you're like,
I'm gonna fix it.
How about, yeah, you're like, am I gonna fix it? But then you start to realize like you didn't put all that energy into it, but the part of you actually realized, like you start to realize you were putting like habits up. Like you started to realize you listen to like yourself halfway. So you realize you're not in a best place, but you get to a point where, I don't know, you sort of understand, I guess. But Neo is one of the companies that I was looking up. NIO, that's a electric car company. It's a Chinese one. So I don't know how you feel about buying Chinese stock brand companies, but that's a Chinese one. I made a little money with that one. Not a lot, like $15. I don't want people to think like, oh, this nigga made how much?
Oh shit.
Yeah, right. You better let them know.
That shit take off.
Nah, LI Auto, which I made probably about like $10. I made like a couple of dollars off of these. Canoe, which is a short. I'm hearing that Canoe is another Reddit stock, and that one is around $9 right now. The highest it's been $16-18. So if it can get back up to that again or higher, because they're supposed to start producing next year. So if that shit, even if it goes up to $40 fucking, you're gonna get a, depends on how much you put in, but you're gonna get a pretty good profit if it starts doing something next year and things go up partway.
This Neo shit is fire, but it's not in the U.S. yet, right? Look at
I don't
this
know.
shit.
It looks like a Forza commercial.
This shit is
Yeah, man.
ill.
And they actually, they're in competition with Tesla and I think Li Auto is another one. Are they Chinese? I can't say where Li Auto is from. Oh no, Xpeng or XPNG, which is another a rival to Neo, which that one is around $45. But I did make a little money in that. I have a couple of $100 that I keep throwing in and out over like a week. Cause there's like these laws and shit. And this is one thing that I didn't know when I first started. I mean, good thing that Snapchat told me, because I wouldn't have known it. I'm Snapchat, Cash App, because that's where I do my trading, or my sometimes trading. But on Cash App, they told me that and they give you a little warning. They're like, oh, you've made a certain amount of, you can't do 4 or 5 day trades within like a 4 or 5 day period.
Because they got you capped on the limit.
They got a cap, but that's if you don't have like $32,000 in your bank account, you're not like actually living this day trading life, or you don't have like an e-trading account. If you're doing it from like Cash App, and it's like some of the shit is long term. Like after I sold the Neo stock and the other electric company stocks, Xpeng and Li Auto. After I sold those, I bought like $10 back in, see if they'll go down a little bit, and then I'll buy back in again. But those are really going to be long. Like once I get to a point where I have like an actual like a trading account, I'll actually put long-term money, because I have some long-term accounts, which is Amazon, which I've only like $90 in that. I think like $40 in Apple, because those are the only companies that didn't fucking crash. They were talking about it. The only companies that didn't crash were like Apple, any of those, Google, all the Alphabet stocks or whatever, the trucking stocks. None of that shit crashed. All that shit went up. So I put all my money into that shit. Not all of it, but all the money that I'm playing with. Amazon, yo, I keep hearing people talk shit about Amazon, but Amazon, I don't see it going anywhere. Like I was seeing this thing that Amazon said that they're behind legalization of weed. Excuse me. Legalization of weed.
Selling weed on Amazon?
Nigga, but that's the thing. That's because he sees how much money's in that shit. I was sitting there and I was what the fuck was I doing? I was brushing my teeth, and I'm sitting there thinking, I'm listening to a podcast on my phone, and I'm brushing my teeth, and they start talking about Amazon, how it's going to be, how they stand behind legalization. And I'm just sitting there like, can you imagine just ordering like weed and it comes through Amazon, like Amazon Buds? Like that's what it's going to be called, Amazon Buds. And you go there for all your weed supplies. Like like when I was young, like I could think about it, like when I was like 15 or I can think about when I was young, and I could see people smoking weed and like dare, like cops coming to your class telling you don't do drugs, and marijuana is like a gateway drug. And now Amazon's like most likely going to be like 10 years from now going to be the people who are going to be bringing it to your house. You gotta watch out for them stealing that shit though.
Be like, I'm tracking my package.
Yeah. They're gonna be outside by the mailbox, just like 10 stops, 9 stops, 8 stops. I'd be out there for my package when they be saying 10 stops. I'd be like, all right. It said set before 7 p.m. It's 3 o'clock. If this shit don't get here before 10 stops, I'm gonna be upset. But yeah, not Microsoft. I have another company that they said was also a Reddit stock. I haven't been doing any of the Reddit research though. That's my problem. I've been hearing it from articles. But Petco's another one, and Petco is supposedly $22, and the highest that's been is $29. But supposedly, if it takes any of these jumps that Reddit's, and don't take it my advice, I'm just throwing this shit out there if you're paying attention. But I'm not trying to make you lose any money. I still have to figure out how much money I lost on Riot blockchain, and which is probably only a couple of dollars, but I did put money in that shit, and that shit is still tanking. I should get it now but when I bought it in April, it's still down from what it was. But Petco's one of them. And these might take, big jumps. GameStop's kind of down right now. I'm $16 down on that shit, and I got $65 into it.
Well, that's probably because they're not getting any PS5s in.
Nah, but they're about to become a big. They're about to become a big e-commerce. I think. I think somebody just put money into them. Somebody was talking about it, but supposedly they were looking forward to GameStop because GameStop, instead of doing this in-store shit, they're gonna focus more online. They're gonna start they could be like the Amazon of like video games and shit. Yeah. So they got to figure out how to get that shit together, because you can't buy a new fucking game and instantly bring it back, and you can get $1 for it. Like, that's the reason. If people didn't have to go through GameStop, they wouldn't have. I guarantee it. That digital downloads are probably out of this fucking world because people go to GameStop and they're like, bro, I don't want to deal with this shit. Yeah. Sometimes it's people who know what the fuck they're doing, but
I'd rather digital download than buy it.
That's most of the games that I have now. I can't imagine going to GameStop and just like the one I got was, I think, Red Dead Redemption 2. Not even. Like,
imagine having to wait to go get your game.
Call of Duty Black Ops. Like, that was probably the last time I went. No. Yeah, it was the last one I probably went to. Call of Duty Black Ops to get it.
Play Black Ops? I
played it then. I think it was Black Ops 1 at the time.
Modern Warfare?
I don't play any of the new ones. I don't play I used to be a teammate person. I used to love playing like teammate games, and then like I lost all my friends. And then like all the games that I actually do like is like Mafia and Grand Theft Auto. What's the other ones? Watch Dogs, shit like that, like the good games. Like it's single player games that I like. I mean, I played some of the online, but
Resident Evil and all that.
It's hard to put a lot of time. I didn't play Resident Evil. I actually, you know what fucked that up for me? GameCube. Because they had 4 on it, and I was playing it. I was terrible at it. Like, I didn't like, it was a new setup. Like, I didn't like the setup, the one person, or the way they had it. I saw my brother play it for a while. Like, I liked watching him play it, and because I liked enjoying the game, but I didn't enjoy the experience myself. And I know they remade the game like 4 fucking times. Yeah. They made that shit for like Wii, Switch, Xbox. Like, they remade that shit for everything. But I mean, I played the old PS2 ones, and those were pretty cool. When I was pretty young, it was hard to play them because I would also be kind of scared and also kind of inexperienced on like how to play video games. Like, even playing like Grand Theft Auto Vice City, like, it used to be like, hey, can you beat this mission for me? And then it was like eventually like, yo, do it yourself. And you sit there and you just, all right. And you play it. You finally beat it. And now, if I play Vice City, I'm like that's one of my favorite games. And I'm like a beast at that shit. Like, I don't think I could fail any mission unless I'm just like fucking around. I still use cheat codes, but you can't play any of those old games without cheat codes. Now
right now registers online and
everything is easy now. Yeah, it registers with your trophies and shit. But everything online now is too easy. Like, Grand Theft Auto 4 is the easiest Grand Theft Auto ever. Besides, I guess 5, because I guess you can go through. But that was the first game that actually gave you money to buy weapons, a more option to weapons. Like, the other ones, you had to go to the gun store and like spend all your money on weapons, or go behind a building, refresh the game like 6 times to go find that same fucking gun to get like 500 bullets. And that shit's gone just from like one drive-by. So that game a lot of the games became easy now, and they have some difficulties, but besides that, it's not. I actually have I think they were talking about a gaming company. I have trying to put you guys on. I don't know what it'll do for you, but I'm trying. Actually, maybe I don't. I don't have any money invested in it yet, but I have to find it. Is it Viva Systems? No, it's not it. I don't see it. Oh no, Boyd Gaming, which is down to $58. But gaming is another thing that's gonna be fucking, like, when I look at it, that's one thing that didn't get affected with COVID. Like, it actually ended up going up. Like, gaming is gonna be another stock to have money into because of the future of once they get this virtual reality shit figured out, the game is gonna change. Because once you can sit down or I guess whatever platform they use, one of those things they put around you, and I guess you could run on that shit and run around with like a fucking little weird gun and shit. Once that shit takes off, it's gonna be another story for gaming.
VR? You ever played VR?
I never have, and actually when I worked at Best Buy, I always wanted to try it, but I didn't want to. The person who was there was always while I was working. I was always working night, so I never got the chance to try it.
I got the VR glasses. Them shits is.
I have like a little one you put your head on, your phone in.
No.
That's not the same.
The PS4 one, the VR.
Yeah, no,
PS4.
it's not the same.
Play Iron Man on that shit is wicked.
Yeah.
Like everybody, stay out my way. Get away from me.
What's the Oculus? Is that the like you got to buy like a computer and shit for that though, right?
Nah, it plugs in right into your PlayStation.
An Oculus?
The goggles.
Really?
With the head, you put the headphones.
I did not know that.
Shit.
But I thought there was something that you had to buy, like one of the virtual realities, like you have to buy like a setup and shit, like a computer setup.
Nah. The PlayStation one comes with the converter and everything, all that shit.
Okay.
Fucking sick.
Yeah, I would definitely want to definitely, but
it's dope shit.
It's expensive as fuck. It's a couple of $100 or a couple of thousand, or no, like 1,000, 2,000.
I think it was when I got it at the time. It was like $400, $500.
How much is the PS5 down?
Fucking, if you can
Six?
find one,
Or if you could find one.
$400.
Oh, they're having trouble with microchips and shit like that.
Yeah.
That's another reason to get into some of these stocks right now, because the microchips, once they figure out how to start processing them shits again, whatever company's the fastest.
Jump.
Because right now there's a big stall, especially in the electric cars, because they need some of those chips.
Yeah.
Which some of those companies will say that it didn't affect them, but some of them it did. So some of those companies might end up going back up. So please comment. I need you guys to comment on what you're actually like, if you're paying attention to the stocks, or like kind of interact a little bit, because I gotta know what's
working, what's not.
What's working and what's not, and what to throw at you guys. Because if you guys don't give a fuck about crypto, because I had one boy who got AMP or AMP, which is another one, and he said he had like 400 in that shit, and that shit is at 900 now.
Damn.
So and he said that shit, it was, I think he got it at like 40 cents, 50, not even. He got it at like 40 cents. I think it went up to, I can't remember, but that shit went. It's like that, and it's not. It's exactly how Bitcoin started. I think Cardona. Actually, I'll even shout some of those out. I think Cardona is another one that might spike a little bit. That's the wrong thing. I don't really have a good spot that I'm gonna try to get into a lot more ETFs. My only problem right now is Coinbase. I don't really know. I don't know the best one to use. Like it's trading Dogecoin, which I'm gonna get in. I'm gonna get some Dogecoin. Cardona, which I have 4 of now. That shit's been going up and down though for like a while. I only make like $1. It goes up like 7 something and then 6 something 7. AMP, which is another one I'm gonna try to put some money into. You know, because it's under $1. So if you're spending 50 cents on a stock, you can make a ton. Not even couple of $100 if you put a couple of dollars in it. Make $1,000. I'm not saying you can be a fucking millionaire. You need some capital for that. I don't know. They talking about these guys in like 3 years or 3 months. They made like $1 million just trading stocks and ETFs. People have like 10% of their portfolio in crypto. So something's got to be going on. But Ethereum too, I think. Tether, Binance Coin, Dogecoin, Cardona, Polkadot. Yeah. Litecoin, Chainlink. And these are some that are already in the $20 range. Some of them are in the $1,000 range. But again, in the long term, if you put $50 in, that shit is gonna make money. It may just make a couple of dollars, but it's gonna make some fucking money if that shit goes through the roof, or if it goes up. And it can go down. That is the possibility. But if you do your research, if you find the right shit that works for you, Tron's another one. I could say that I was doing pretty good. I was doing pretty good in fucking Bitcoin. I made like $150 at one point, but then it went down, and then that shit just tanked to like $36 from 36,000 to like from 60,000. So that shit kind of hurt. But again, that's a long term one right now, and I kind of stopped fucking around with it. Again, I'll try to figure out if I'm gonna put some money into it again, but this point, I'm not sure right now. Still got to educate myself because I don't know too much about all this shit I'm talking about. I'm really just doing it on the fly. I just started in April and March doing all this shit. So, but I know this is the future. If you're trying to make some money, like I feel like they didn't try to hide this shit from us, but I don't see anybody trying to teach us this shit. Like I don't remember being in school, and I mean, why didn't they have a project where they like gave us a stock and like we had to do like something, you know, based on it, like a report based on it or some shit. We had economics, we had pig class. I don't know why we didn't do any of that shit.
Word.
It's bullshit. I'd like to, dude, could you imagine if you would have bought Bitcoin at $13 in 2013? Even if you just bought one. Just one.
Hey, chilling.
Or at least been able to take a couple of vacations before you got back to living again. But yeah, so just check out all the cryptos, those stocks, do your research and shit, because I'm doing mine. Let me know what's working for you. If you got any tips, throw them in the comments, because I'd like, or throw them in my DM. If you just trying to make some money on my side, you know, I'll throw you $50. I don't think you're allowed to do that. I mean, it's not inside trading, but I think you could give somebody money if they put you onto a stock outside of it. Like if you read an article, it's like, yo, this shit's about to go out. Like the Reddit guys, like they did some. I don't know if that shit was illegal, but again, check out some of the Canoe, Petco. Some of those companies are on the Reddit shit right now. AMC's up right now, 10%. So check that shit out.
That car, that shit.
Yeah, the Neo car, that shit is dope.
That Neo car, that shit is fire.
The electric cars are the future, man. I wish I could find that $10 stock that I can, you know, put $500 in and just be looking at a couple of $1,000. Just that you could take out and just put, you know, there's nothing wrong with having that just nice little nut. It's hard to get that nice stash. I mean, it might seem easy, but when you get those life's inconvenience fees and shit, your shit'll be going very quick. The John, I don't. Should we go straight into the masturbating thing after that? Jeffrey too
on weird news.
on weird news. This ain't gangster. Jeffrey Toobin, the guy, he worked for New York Times, I think I can't tell you what the motherfucker did, but all I know is he got caught masturbating. Like they stopped they stopped I guess they were doing a segment, they stopped, but he was still on camera. He thought everything was good. He decided to do it right there and then. I don't know why you wouldn't go to it. Who doesn't sit, if you ever rubbing one out, I don't know who doesn't sit there going like, is there a camera around? Is my laptop closed? Like I can't imagine anybody sitting there not thinking somebody's watching them. So the fact that you're sitting there with like 7 or 8 other commentators and they're all like sitting there like, Jeff, and you turned your mic off, everything's off, and you're sitting there getting, I don't even know what.
They're like, Jeff.
Well, he's back to work. That's all. He's back to work. He apologized for being, he's disgraced. I mean, you shouldn't be ashamed. You should just went to another fucking room, my guy. You should have just got up, went to another room. You got a phone. You didn't have to do it like right in front of your colleagues. I don't even know how you go back to work after that. Like if I ever was just like rubbing one out in here and you walked in, it was like you, even if I'm paying you to be here, you can be like, I don't know, my nigga. You have to wait till I open another studio and I leave, and whoever comes in here, you can work with them. I can't imagine that would be comfortable for anyone. He said he needed therapy. I guess because of all the people that send him hate mail on social media and shit like that.
Yeah, I can imagine. His shit is blowing up.
In other masturbation news. This is actually kind of old news. I think this is like 2-3 weeks old. But New York City, there was this New York City school. I don't know if they showed the video to the kids. It's an educational masturbation video about, I think they showed it to first graders. I don't know if the parents gave them permission first, but it popped up in the news. But they supposedly showed them an educational masturbation video. I don't know if I should listen. I don't know if I should play it. It's a little creepy to listen to. Like, I don't even like listening to it because it. You didn't hear it, right? I don't want to listen to this shit. All right, I have to. I'll play it for you. It's not even like a whole thing. It's like a quick little, but it's so creepy. Cause they kind of have like adults doing like kid voices and shit. Like, if I touch my clit or my vulva,
Nah.
just like Tommy does. It's weird, bro. It's weird. It's weird. First grade.
They're playing that shit? Are you serious?
First grade masturbation video.
Man, you gotta stop.
I'm putting it in YouTube.
You ain't searching that shit on this.
No, but look, Dalton School first grade masturbation video 5/29/21. Listen to this shit.
Are they fucking crazy?
Pass it, Squeaks. Whoa, watch it. You almost hit me in the pee-pee. What's so funny, you two?
Listen to how creepy this shit sounds.
Pee-pee. Do you notice that when you say pee-pee, you giggle, but when you say penis, you say it in a serious voice? I never noticed that before. Some children and adults feel uncomfortable when they talk about their private parts.
No.
So they make up cute or funny
Just little
names
weird
for them.
videos that talk about
What's
it.
one for a girl's private parts? Vajayjay!
They showed this to a first grade
But
class.
what does Scoops mean when he says vajayjay?
I would kill the teacher.
He means what? Brains are lung. That's not.
That is not even the part.
Sometimes I big some.
Right here, right here.
Urethra. Urination is actually very.
They show this on like podcasts, the news. It's the weird.
Stuff
It's
out.
weird. Listen.
Hey, how come my penis gets big sometimes and points up in the air?
That's called an erection.
Sometimes I touch my penis because it feels good.
Sometimes
To a first
when
grade
I'm in my
class.
bath or when mom puts me
Nah.
in bed, I like to touch my vulva too. You
All right, I get
Look at
that.
the comments on that shit. Nah. There's no way.
Look at the comments on that shit.
I don't even know what to say. There's no fucking way.
Let's teach reading, writing, and math at school. Let parents cover everything else.
So
I do agree parents do need to get involved in shit like
so
that. Parents do need to
penmanship
get more
and
involved.
everything else is out the fucking window.
We're not doing
except
script
for-
anymore. That shit's out. No.
Well, we're doing masturbation videos.
Look, I've heard of people talk about how like their kids like do that shit in public, and you gotta like tell them not to do that because obviously you don't know like the shit does its own thing, and you like feel it and you like play with it, but you just teach your kid not to do that shit in public. I don't think you need to teach it in a. I guess for every generation they gotta. Actually, that's kind of funny that they did that video.
I don't know how the fuck the parents
I'm
must
surprised the
have been
binary people
fuming.
didn't get involved. I that's the thing. I didn't read the article. I just heard a lot of people talking about it, and I heard that
we're gonna-
on there.
We're gonna dig on this.
So the problem about that is I don't know if the parents actually heard anything about that shit. So the parents might have just been, they might have signed a permission slip to show the video. But I mean, I think even in 2009 or 10 when I took health class, I think I had to get that. I think I had to have them sign for me to have to learn stuff in health class. I think.
Yeah, I did.
I think it's just something they still do just for the hell of it because they're gonna teach, I remember that they had this ball sack in class that has like lumps on the nuts and shit, and they wanted like people to come up and touch it. I was just sitting there like, I didn't go up and touch it, but I was just that I guess that's kind of what they're talking about. Not that I'm afraid. I just didn't go up and touch it because it was kind of weird. I was like, is it gonna feel like another guy's pair of like nuts? Like I don't want to grab that. That's gonna be weird. It was supposed to be tested for like cancers and shit, but I was 15 and didn't want to grab no fake nuts.
Oh, that shit is crazy.
All right. John Cena. We were talking about that before too. He was talking Mandarin. Oh yeah. He called Taiwan a country or whatever. I'm sorry that I'm not giving you guys all the facts. It's just that some of this shit is so ridiculous. You can't spend too much time on some of this stuff or you go down a hole. Again, I was telling you, I'm trying to keep things happy and light. At least if I get bullshit on the topic, that's fine. If I'm bullshitting facts, that's something else. But John Cena supposedly called Taiwan a country or a state or whatever. China didn't like that shit because just like Japan, they're starting to do shit there. Taiwan's the next place. They're ramping up their military. The motherfuckers are ready to defend themselves. We're hoping Japan's going to jump in that fight. Like a old person once said to me. Wait, should I say that? Maybe I shouldn't. I don't know. There used to be a quote, I guess they used to say, but we're never safe with we'll never be safe if the yellow man's in charge or some shit like that, like something they used to say in the 50s or 60s.
Yeah, let me flash the disclaimer screen.
Nah, but that's what I'm saying. I'm not trying to get this. I'm not trying to be disrespectful. I'm just saying that I heard an older person from that generation say something like that, and the way they're communists, and we've always fought communism. So I'd like to think. Look at that. Hey, do the shake. I'm over hitting them. Are we good on the camera? I just hit the camera. We good? Is this still shaking or is it good?
No, we're good.
All right. You guys doing the Harlem Shake for a second. But China's they're a little in control. Kind of. That's one of those things like you smoke and then you hear some shit about China. Like you wake and bake and you're like at that peak of highness and you start like listening to a video on YouTube about China or some shit. I think it's the infographics thing. And they'll talk about why China's in control, shit that they're doing, why they're going to be a superpower, the type of shit that their military they have and shit like that. And that is like the scariest shit ever. When you're sitting there like stoned out of your mind, just sitting there like you're sitting there thinking, like every time you're sitting outside, you ever just sit in your car and you're just like, life is good right now. Like we live, like you can't, like other countries are good too. But them motherfuckers have gone through shit like we've never had besides like civil war and slavery, we've never had like an actual like what they had in other countries, like we like blowing buildings up and shit falling, like we've never had any of that shit. Like we never had a wake up call here in America. Like I don't know if we've ever actually had any real bombs dropped on us that like woke our ass up, and like other countries have. So I'm not looking forward to that shit. So when you sitting there high as fuck, sitting in there in the morning,
that we've had is 9/11.
Definitely, but I feel like that was more just like New York. Like New York took that L. Like the country took that L, but I think New York took that L more than like if China sends like when North Korea, like if they would have sent like a fucking nuclear bomb into like California. Like, I think the country might feel that shit a little bit more. Like, when Guam, when they, like, had, like, that, or in Hawaii, where was it? Was it Guam or Hawaii? Where they had that nuclear, where the person accidentally sent the thing out? The nuclear, they were like, this is not a test. Like, it's a text message or some shit.
Yeah.
And they were like,
Hawaii.
It was Hawaii?
Yeah.
And, nigga, could you imagine you're sitting there and you have to tell your like, you have to call your mother or your father or whoever and just be like, I love you. Like, this is the end. Like, what the and the next thing you know, you're like, damn, I didn't even want to call that motherfucker. Because they tell you the shit didn't happen. It's not going to happen or whatever.
Bro, I was jet skiing in Puerto Rico. And I was all the way out, like far out.
Okay.
And me and my boys, at the time, we were racing. We were just wilding out with the jet skis. I heard fucking the alarms. From all the way from the shore, all the way out. I'm in the fucking all the way out there.
Okay.
And I hear, I'm like, what the fuck is that?
Oh, that shit echoes across the water, definitely.
Bro, I hear, warning, tsunami. I'm like, I was like, these things. When I tell you,
Puerto Rico goes through tsunami?
Yeah,
I know they're an island.
Anywhere that's coastal technically can have a tsunami.
Yeah, I know Japan. No motherfuckers be going through it.
Bro,
North Korea's going through it right now.
I took that jet ski and I gunned it straight to the shore, straight to the shore, bro. Yo, I was coming up on shoreland like super quick.
Yo, this nigga let this shit go off on the sand.
The guy,
get to the hotel.
The
get
guy
your
that
shit.
rented
Let's get the fuck out
the
of
skis
here.
to us was screaming as I was approaching. He's like, "No, stop!"
Slow down.
He was like, "Stop!" He's screaming. But when I got up on him and I was getting ready to jump off that shit, he was like, "No, it's just a test. They put in that nigga. You gonna say that shit while I'm on
this
the
is
way
a
the fuck
test.
out there? This is a test. Fucking no shit about no goddamn.
We did. You ain't
tsunami.
hear me? This is a test.
Try to give me a heart attack.
Like screaming from the water with an airphone.
Yo, he said that shit, and I'm looking around. I see everybody dipping. I'm like, nah. Not me.
That's like, I ain't never had no shit. See, that's what I'm saying, Mike.
That's the same thing.
I don't
It's
know
like,
what I would
was like,
do. I don't know what I would do. I remember I was at when there was a robbery at my house. It was an attempted robbery, and there was a moment where where the cops showed up and the guys like went in another room and shit. But then we like noticed that was the time to go, and I'm like, I ran down the stairs and shit, and I didn't know my little nephew was. That's like a flight shit.
Yeah.
But I didn't know my nephew was there, and I saw my nephew, and I just looked at the nigga and just ran by him. I knew my brothers were behind me, and it's not, you know, he's not my kid. Nah. I know my brothers were behind me, and so I'm like, all right, he's gonna grab his kid. But that fight or flight shit, well, not that it was really anything to fight about. They had a gun, but that fight, when you ready to fight and you going, that shit don't slow you down. So I kind of understand that you would be flying towards the beach as soon as you hear alarms. Like, it's time to go. It's time to get the fuck out of here. I couldn't imagine going through some actual shit like that where, like, you think the whole... like, you waiting for a big, giant wave to just come and swoop your ass. You going to be on top of that motherfucker and just... You going to be on top of a hotel and watch that shit just crumble under you. I don't want that shit. Oh, yeah. Didn't Putin and Biden just met? They just had a summit or some shit? Not them, but I guess there was a European summit. And I guess they talked about hacking and all that. Yo, it's so hard to talk. I don't even like talk about the politics part, but it's going on. It's current events, I guess. It's what's going on. Oh, yeah, we didn't even finish the John Cena thing.
Yeah, John Cena learned.
John Cena,
Mandarin.
he knew Mandarin because supposedly he had to from Fast and Furious or some other movie he did. Something else he did. He had to learn Mandarin. So he when he did it, I guess that was just part of him trying to be like, hey, China, don't not go see Fast Furious 9 because I'd like to make some fucking money off that shit because that's like a huge franchise right now and he can make a milli and a couple of bags. But the problem is China gonna overtake us, bro. I hate to say that, and I know it sounds very unpatriotic, but China gonna overtake us. If you got John Cena, and not to say he's even like a tough guy, but if you got John Cena talking in Mandarin saying sorry to China when the U.S. is supposed to be Taiwan's friend, that sounds scary to me. I don't know how that shit works. China's gonna end up taking over. Not us, but they gonna end up taking over Taiwan or Japan, or they making some moves. So you're making moves on your own? They making some moves. You got to be careful. I think about it all the time when you're sitting out in your car and you're just thinking, oh, it's a nice day. You know, somewhere else in the world, there's something else going on. The world's falling apart right here. But as soon as you start hearing those alarms, as soon as you start hearing that shit, as soon as you start thinking like the world's about to end or America's about to be bombed or some shit, like all reality of what you think right now.
You got minutes.
Nigga, but not even that. If alarms go off right now and California's about to be bombed, like you're gonna see that shit on like I don't even know how our phones are gonna start going on, just so we know. Like the country's gonna be like, oh, embrace for whatever. We're gonna find that shit out very quick, and our reality is gonna change very quick because it's on U.S. soil. As soon as somebody hits U.S. soil with some shit, it's gonna be World War III. We ready to bomb some shit. We're ready to bomb some shit. We're ready to blow everything the fuck up, I'm sure. I don't want us to do that, but I'm pretty sure that's the future of what's coming to some extent, at least. And then on a lighter note, you saw that basketball fight, Suns and 4 video. I'm just gonna look up Suns and 4 on YouTube. Yeah, I'm not picking my nose. I cut my nose hairs today. I keep scratching them. Oh yeah, look up Suns and 4, the fight that happened at one of the games. That was such a funny fight. That was like keeping it real goes wrong. Suns and 4. I don't know if Suns actually won in 4 or whatever, but I guess they were supposed to win Suns in game 4, or they're winning 4 games. First one.
This one with the fan?
Yeah.
I did see that.
Yeah. You saw that shit?
Yeah, I did see that.
Why did he reach over? You know, this was the problem. They were doing perfectly fine up to that point right there. Everything's good. Go away. This dude, him right there. That's what he failed right there. He should have took some licks, backed off. He didn't realize he can get pulled right over that seat. That he wasn't watching his surroundings at all.
He fucked up.
And he goes, Suns in 4. And this dude's going to be a fucking meme for the rest of his life. And that dude's going to be associated with getting his shit fucking muffed in front of everybody.
He just became the fucking...
You don't even see his face after this. You don't even know what happened.
He just became the...
He might have been crying like a bitch. He going to cry in the car.
He just became the Twisted Tea.
Twisted Tea.
The Twisted Tea. You gonna do smack me?
What's that?
The Twisted Iced Tea meme?
Nah. Let me check.
Come on, you killing me.
Twisted Ice Tea.
Are you killing me?
Oh, okay. Oh, when he smacked the guy in the face with the thing. Yeah. That was crazy as fuck. How many times you been at the store and you want to just do that to somebody who's taking too long? When you just trying to get like your tall boy and get out. You just say, I'm trying to buy this tall boy.
400 Oxford 2 blocks away. And you know what's crazy? I'm gonna walk to you. I'm gonna walk right to my house for you, bro. Oh God, I'm not trying to.
He was saying the N-word, right?
I'm gonna say nigga all day.
I'm gonna say nigga all day, every day.
Where you from, nigga?
Where you
from?
You don't ask a black dude. You heard the noise of the can? You heard the noise of the can?
Get the fuck out of here, you a clown, nigga. Oh God, you a clown, nigga.
He was asking for it.
You a
Look,
clown.
the tea.
You gonna smack me with that? Smack me. Smack me.
I'm a female. Can you please? Yo, I'm hearing shit I didn't even hear the last time. Sound like a gunshot. My nigga, you know the funniest shit ever though? The way that smack, that common sense smack was the craziest shit ever. Because that look, he evolved in that moment to like, oh shit, this was a terrible fucking idea. Like you saw the look in his face after he woke up from what he was drunk. I'm sure he was drunk.
He went to church.
Nigga, he went to church for 5 seconds and instantly, nigga, the pastor, he had an experience. The pastor sung a song for him, touched the nigga on his head. He had an epiphany in that moment because after that, this nigga was a new person.
Yo,
he was like a dude that get caught by the cops, and all of a sudden he's like act like an asshole, and all of a sudden he's like, I'm just playing with you guys. I'm cool. We cool. We're friends.
Do you know how hard you gotta slap somebody with a fucking can?
I'm surprised he didn't cut his face with that shit.
Cause that shit went pow, it exploded.
I wish I was working that day.
It exploded so hard you hear the.
It sounded like a gunshot, bro. I would have been looking around like, are we being robbed? Nigga, that sounded like a gunshot.
Yo, you hit the door, ding ding.
That lady was like, I'm a lady. Can you please wait?
Look, replay.
Listen
to the door. Watch.
Come on, yeah. Drop it.
Ooh.
Yeah, you got.
Yo, was that somebody leaving or going? Was that somebody coming or going?
Yo. Oh shit.
This meme says Twisted Tea never hit so hard.
Yo.
I didn't even notice. See, that's what, I didn't even notice that stuff when I watched the video.
The door saved him. This shit was like.
That was the moment God sent that nigga back. He was like, welcome. How can I help you? Yo, that was it.
You got me thinking now. Was that somebody that came in?
Ooh.
Yeah, you got yours, buddy.
Look at this shit. Look
Call
at
me
this
another
shit.
fucking nigga.
We good. We
I
good.
don't give a
We
fuck.
good.
Hey, man,
We good. We good.
Call me another nigga. Call me another fucking nigga.
Okay.
We good. You good.
Okay.
You good. You good.
Now he kicks him out.
I'm sorry. I forgot. I just realized I forgot to say he should have had an epiphany. He should have had an epiphany.
But look at the can of Twisted Iced Tea.
Call me a nigga.
Let me go get another can. This nigga's like, all right, now fuck a Twisted Tea, nigga. I'm gonna have to go get me a fucking Heineken or a Corona now, bro. My girl asked for this shit. Now I'm gonna go get me one. Yo, bro,
I never paid attention. As many times as I've seen that shit, I never paid attention to the door.
Yo, he smacked the dog shit out of that too.
The door said ding ding.
I didn't hear. See, that should have been part of the meme. That should have been part of the meme. What time we at, mate? What time we at? How many minutes?
Oh shit, we had an hour.
An hour already?
Yeah.
Oh shit, it's supposed to be 45 minutes.
Yeah.
All right, so
Good shit.
time goes by. All right, so that's part 2. The next episode is going to be episode 18, but that's going to be its own episode. I'm going to try to get some guests for that episode because I really want to start getting some people in here. I want to have some fun. That once I get some people in here, we can start doing segments because I don't want to be saying, oh, politics, oh, news, whatever, basketball, sports. I don't be that guy. Twisted Tea. I mean, yeah, that's exactly. I want to be able to do that type of shit, and they bring their own experiences.
And this episode is sponsored by Twisted
Tea. It's never hit so hard. All right. We talked about that. In the next episode, I'll touch on, and this is something I guess I wanted to talk about a little bit. Was we're gonna do a episode dedicated, kind of to like it's gonna be called Black Experience in America, because I feel like I don't get enough of a moment. Like I try to dab a little into what's going on, but I feel like I just gotta touch a base with it, have someone in here that could really riff with me about it, and kind of get a perspective on it. I mean, obviously I'm black, but I want to get an actual black perspective in here. Hey, you can't ask the half white guy, half black guy. That might offend a couple of people. Everybody gets offended nowadays. But yeah, so I'm gonna talk about that. I'm gonna get an episode like that going. There's a lot of shit going on. Voting. There's a lot of voting laws that they're trying to pass right now. I know Stacey Abrams is out there trying to kick some ass. The school education history, which they're trying to erase a lot of that of like the truths, and to say like whatever they showed us before, but now they're trying to actually like erase a lot of it, like anything that happened, like Native Americans, slave, like they're trying to erase a lot of it. And I read an article today about 3.5 million Americans, Black Americans, are now in the negative net worth, so they lost a lot of money. And I'm sure because a lot of those people had to get back to work. They couldn't fuck around too long. They had to get back to work and shit like that. But I really want to give a good in-depth about what's going on. My experiences, other people's experiences, whoever I can have on. And even actually, I'll probably even try to get some people to call in maybe on that episode. And we'll try to turn that into a 2-part series, 1 part, 2 part. Try to get something going. So watch out for that episode. Thinking right now, I might try to get a poker episode in. That would be fun. I know we tried it before, but it was too many voices. But I might try to get a poker episode in. If I can get 3 people, 4 people, we can get it set up just right, I'll try to do that. Again, check out my socials. The Life of Beige, which is my personal. Beige Connection Podcast, which is my Beige Connection Podcast Instagram. IgnoranceAndHistory, which is the Ignorance and History Podcast, which I do with Matt Fitz. Check out those episodes that I actually already put up. I did a Beige Connection podcast with him, and I did a Ignorance and History podcast, episode 0, which was our introduction episode. You can check all that out at the YouTube, which is Beige Connection Productions. And enjoy your week, enjoy your weekend. Whatever day I let this motherfucker out, enjoy your day, man. Fuck this week up. And again, fuck it. Focus on your goals. It'll create wisdom. It'll help you grow. Get rid of toxic and drama people in your life. You're only human. Nobody's perfect. Be a better you and use your common sense. Because I'm trying to use mine. All right. Check you guys later. This has been the Beige Connection Podcast, guys.